Today, I've arrived in Phuket Town, Thailand. Phuket Town is full of beautiful historical buildings, plenty of restaurants and cafes with good food, coffee, and I can see plenty of tourists. I can't wait to explore this town. Join me in my tour of picturesque Phuket Town, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more exciting Hussmeister adventures. So we've made it to Phuket Town, and I must say that I could honestly be mistaken to be either in 1, Singapore, 2, maybe Malacca, or 3, possibly anywhere in maybe Semarang or areas of Jakarta. And you may ask, why do I feel like that? That's because of the Sino-European buildings that exist here. So what does Sino-European mean? Well, Sino-European is a period of buildings from the 1500s when the Dutch and the Portuguese had a heavy presence here. Because this was a major trading port, they had settled here along with the Chinese immigrants as well, and the Europeans got the Chinese to build these buildings, and as a result you've got these hybrid buildings that line the streets. But they're not just here. I swear I've seen them in Singapore and Malaysia and Indonesia as well. So there's a number of streets where these buildings have been preserved, and they still do exist, and they're actually, you know, they've painted them bright colours and they're now trendy coffee shops and restaurants and eateries. But back then I'm guessing they were probably the residences or the residencies of the Dutch and the Portuguese people that once lived in this area. Every step you take, you're in awe of the beautiful hybrid buildings that decorate the streets. The building style looks European at first, but if you pay attention to the doors and windows, they have a Chinese design. This is what makes these buildings unique. Here is the iconic Phuket Town clock tower. Built in the early 1900s, its purpose was to help locals keep track of time. Today, everybody has smartphones, so it serves the purpose of letting people take selfies and show that they're having fun. Look at these old doors, aren't they amazing? So the Dutch, Portuguese and the Chinese were all in Phuket because it had an abundance of tin, and there was a mining trade that was happening in the area, and they all settled into the one area, and this was a melting pot of trade in Southeast Asia. I can't speak for the historical facts and figures, but I'm guessing there's some form of gentrification going on here. Just down that street there, it is very busy. There's many cafes, restaurants, souvenir stores. It's so busy that you cannot move. Personally, I think that there's a Phuket town that is caught in two worlds. One, the yesteryear, and you can see evidence of that with small mum and pop stores that are selling knickknacks, parts for motors and electronic items. They look fairly run down and not so kept up to date. And then there's this whole new wave of stores that are popping up with decorations, and just a lot of effort has gone into making them presentable to the tourists. Just down that road there. So I believe that gentrification has commenced here in Phuket Town, and down the track, maybe in about 5 to 10 years, this place could be like another Malacca, or maybe overtake it in the sense for tourism. Personally, in the past, I never knew anyone that came to Phuket Town. Take a hike down that street, you'll see how many people are there. Let's go have a look. I walked down Phuket Town's busiest road, Thalang Road. You have to be quick to dodge the crowds and be sure not to get in the way of someone's photo. I think it's time for a nice coffee and lunch. This place has a Chinese Thai retro theme, and as you enter, you feel like you've stepped back in time. I start with signature iced coffee, followed by a light wonton soup and plenty of vegetables. The food is great and I can't complain. Nor can I complain about being the only male in the whole restaurant. Okay, so let's talk some Phuket facts. Phuket is actually an island just a little bit smaller than Singapore in size. So how's that for a fact? And it takes its name from a mispronounced Malay word which was interpreted as Jung Ceylon. Obviously today it's called Phuket. What's the first thing that comes into your mind when you think about Phuket? Beach, naturally. People go to Patong to enjoy the beach culture and tour the islands. But did you know that Phuket is actually more so mountainous than most of the other places on earth? It's 70% mountains. And if you're a mountain hiker or a climber, you might be interested in coming to Phuket to see the mountains, or maybe if you like geography. And one of the reasons why Phuket was propelled onto the world stage as a primary beach resort destination was because of the James Bond movie, The Man with the Golden Gun, that showed Phuket to the world as a beach destination. Talking about beaches, the tsunami hit here in 2004, I think it was now. And as a result, it was also one of the first cities to implement tsunami detection. So the tsunami detection monitors monitor the beach and give off a siren if a tsunami is on its way. As I finish up my facts, look where I am. I am on Soi Rommanee. This is one of the most popular streets in Phuket Town. This road is the heart of old Phuket Town. Once an infamous road with activities of the night, today it has cafes, boutique stores and hotels, and it's family friendly. It's worth seeing at night as well as when the lights come on. A stone throw away from here is the Sangtham Shrine. This features great artwork on its walls and a colourful courtyard. Don't forget to check out the traditional and contemporary food options available as you tour the town. Whatever your budget, there is something suitable for you. If you happen to wander out to the outskirts of Phuket Town, you'll come across interesting artwork on backstreet walls, riverways that cool the streets down, art installations such as the big yellow school bus and gasoline pumps. These were all really cool to see. Phuket Town also features churches, mosques, flora, and of course more beautiful buildings wherever you go. My final stop is the Estrela Sky Lounge to see Phuket at sunset. I'm of the opinion that the only true way to see and understand the city is to view it from its highest point, up the top. Up here, you get a perspective of how the city is laid out and where it draws its inspiration. On this instance, Phuket seems to be influenced by the sea and the mountains. I guess that's why it's such a beautiful city. The Sky Bar has two viewing points. One side is for the sunset behind the mountains, and the other is for the sunrise from the ocean side. On this instance, we'll be watching the sunset behind the mountains. I never realised how close Phuket Town was to the actual seaside. The views are breathtaking up here. I will leave you with some evening time lapses of the sunset and activity of Phuket Town at night. I hope you enjoyed this tour of Phuket Town, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel for more Hussmeister adventures. A big adios from the Hussmeister.